You're pretty athletic in that you're able to do this, because, to be honest with you, a lot of people have trouble with this. This is a fairly difficult change, but you'll see it's very obvious. I mean, I have 3D technology where I put sensors on your hips, sensors on your wrists, and in 3 dimensions you can really see forward flexion and extension, side bend left and right and left rotation, and feel it because it's auditory feedback. As you will rotate your hips on the backswing, it's going to beep when you get into the zone where I want you to be. But we'll get there in time, but I don't want to do too much. Now, this was a good swing because, like I said, this is a hard fix. This is a hard move to make. You did a nice job. What's interesting here is the club didn't come too far from the inside, but look at the difference in terms of sequencing here when the heel's on the ground. You notice how the hips aren't rotated as much here, they're rotated more. And then when we get further down, you can really see how this is out. We see your whole back side there.
Yeah.
Impact, the club gets back in front of you. You can see how your trail arm releases and rotates over, the club face rotates over. On this screen, it's so late because your body's so far out in front.
Yeah.
You see quite a bit of difference right there in terms of how your lower body's working. You're just, it's not to say your hips aren't rotating, it's just this is too soon. The club is definitely way behind your hands coming down. And you just couldn't get the face square. So that's, yeah, you did pull it a little bit, but overall that's pretty good improvement. Your swing's a little bit, still a little high, but I like how you shallow the club out. It gets steeper going back. Now, what do I mean by that? This is more indicative of how a tour player plays. And here's the angle when your front arm is parallel to the ground. Your club shaft's about 55 degrees. When you come down, you shallow it out.
Yeah.
That's really good. So you definitely aren't coming over the top with that swing.
I could shallow the backswing. I just forgot that time.
That's okay though. That's okay. The biggest thing I want to do is come up with a combination of things. Just a little shorter swing, a little more restricted in the lower body. I haven't really talked about that, but I want you to work on what I call disassociation. You know, turn one segment without turning the other. Your club that has the farthest distance to travel in a circle, your hips only turn approximately half as much as your shoulders. So you have to, on the takeaway, I want you to restrict your lower body a little bit. If I had a piece of tubing tied around your trail knee, and I said, I'm going to pull your knee this way, I want you to activate your adductor and your inner thigh and keep your trail leg anchored. So that the more anchored you keep this instep, the inside of your right leg, the trail leg, the less hip turn you're going to have. The less hip turn you have, the less shoulder turn and the shorter the swing. You're just going to feel more wound.
So the keeping the heel down part, that's just a drill, right? That's not something that...
Well, no, eventually I want to have you working on trying to keep the heel down in transition. Because if you'll notice, right here, it comes up. You're already up, and you're not even started down. That heel's up too early.
Okay.
That's throwing your timing off. It doesn't give you the club a chance to drop. The more you lift that trail heel, and the more this trail knee moves toward the ball, the more you're going to lose pelvic stability. So the pelvis shoots toward the ball, that drops the club underneath. So by keeping the trail heel down a little bit longer in transition, you're going to keep your hips back. So it's very subtle, but some of the things we're working on is, if I drew a line and I put a alignment stick right on your trail toe and a plumb line, and I said, I don't want your trail knee to move in front of that line. See how when the heel's down, the trail knee doesn't move in front?
Mm-hmm.
That helps keep your hips back, and it also, again, it helps you get the club back in front of you. When I say back in front of you, your arms have to get back in front of your body, as opposed to leaving your upper body behind and getting your lower body way out front. That sort of just changes the sequence of movement, the kinematic sequence, or the, and you can see how that see how the trail knee jumps out in front there of that line. That just gets the club more behind you.
Okay.
So you're doing fine here. I mean, it's subtle. So yeah, I mean, if you were out on the golf course and you were having trouble blocking it, just pay attention to a quieter heel, keeping that heel down longer. My name is Jim Estes, and I'm from the Alney Golf Park. And today I'm going to talk about one of the swing faults, a common swing fault I see. It's called the sway. A sway is defined as a lateral shift of the hip on the takeaway. Now this drill, what we're going to do is put our feet in a straight line position, like we're standing on a balance beam. And this is a difficult position. It's really a balance challenge, so I encourage you to actually work on this. Now from here, what I want to do is bend my front knee so it's straight over my ankle, my front right ankle. From here, what I want to do is create a rotation, keeping my right knee as stable as possible, maintaining a flexed right leg. A knee that stays in the same position is a braced position. This is going to create separation between the upper and lower body, and that's real important for timing. So I encourage you to try this 3 or 4 or 5 times slowly, and then switch feet, putting your left foot in front of your right. And again, take 5 slow motion swings, trying to keep your lower right leg and left leg as still as possible. I think you'll find that to be very helpful in eliminating a sway. My name is Jim Estes, and today I'm going to talk about a drill that I think is extremely important for the swing plane. So what I want you to do is, and this, by the way, is going to give you an instant understanding of exactly the feeling you want to have in the golf swing. Take a club. You can put a rod, alignment rod, in the grip, or I'm sorry, in the butt end of the golf club. Take the golf club, turn it like you're going to hold it, and then what I want you to do is take that club, put it right against your left hip, so you're holding both clubs here. Now you've got an alignment rod on the ground and a golf ball, and what I want you to do, getting into your good posture position, your weight over the arches, feel balanced. The insides of the heels are going to be about the width of your hips. Take a swing back, slow motion, and trace with that alignment rod the target line all the way up. The shaft should be parallel to your target line at the top, and then slowly coming down, trace the line. And do this in slow motion. Right into the impact position. So this is a great feedback tool, visual feedback tool for learning the proper swing plane. Go right to your impact position. I encourage you to do this drill in slow motion, and if you have 5 minutes a day, if you do this drill every day, I guarantee you're going to improve your golf swing. So again, I think you'll find this to be extremely helpful. JimEstesGolf.com if you have any questions.